If you've never seen the movie 12 O'Clock High and you are a business owner or entrepreneur, or manage people for that matter, you may want to take a look at this film. It's actually a 70-plus-year-old movie. It's from 1949, stars Gregory Peck, who at the time was one of the leading actors in Hollywood. It is a World War II Army Air Force film. Talks about bomber operations in the European theater. But more than just an entertaining war movie, it also has a very strong management lesson for business and even, corporate, personal life management of others. The story begins with a bomber squadron called the 918th, which is based in England, and the leader of that group is having problems where they're not successful on missions. A lot of them are getting shot down. People are getting killed. And the general who's in charge of that division sends one of his assistants in to find out what's going on. And come to find out, it's the manager, the leader of that group. And the leader had become too friendly with the pilots and the people within their organization. He become too attached to them. And because of that, the leader was making decisions that were not in the best interest of the group because he was trying to protect individual people. And because of that, people were getting killed. They were losing 4 or 5 planes every mission, where other groups in the same division were not losing any, or maybe 1 or 2. So the general sends in a new commander for that division, Frank Savage, played by Gregory Peck, and he goes in and he's a hard ass, right? He's just by the book, yelling and screaming, just, being really harsh as a management style. And at first, all of the employees, per se, the pilots, want to quit. They want to transfer out. They want to go to other divisions. They want to leave because they like their old boss, who was really nice to them and coddled them and didn't make them face harsh realities. But not facing those harsh realities made the operation success of their group a failure. So this guy, Frank Savage, comes in and he's a real hard ass. And he's requiring very strict adherence to rules and very strict discipline in the group. And the immediate result is, like I said, people want to quit. People don't like it because they were used to the easy life. But what happens is, even though everybody wants to quit, the success builds. Their mission planning is better. They're not losing as many aircraft. They are successful on their bombing runs. But even during that, he has to get hard on people. This poor private sergeant keeps getting demoted and then promoted again. He goes from private to sergeant to private to sergeant because he keeps messing up. And even throughout the success, many of the people in the group are still a little bit skeptical. They still want to leave. And he's actually doing something a little bit shady to keep people from transferring out of the division. He has his assistant named Stovall basically slow down the paperwork, which is illegal. You're not supposed to slow down transfer paperwork in the Army. And when the investigative attorney general comes in, or adjutant general, to investigate this paperwork kind of fraud, he expects he's going to be in trouble because he's holding back this paperwork. But what happens is when the adjutant general comes in, by then they've accomplished a lot of things on missions, they've had some success, and everybody sticks up for him. And the adjutant general has no case. He has to leave. So now he's the hero. And now he's running it. But what happens is, as he becomes a hero, he falls into the same trap as his predecessor, where he is now too attached to the men. And he is taking too much of a burden on himself. And there's a great scene at the end. Here's a picture of it where he's so entranced with this group that he basically has a nervous breakdown. And the takeaway from this film is that there are 2 management styles. You can be best friend to your employees, or you can just be hard-ass boss to the employees. There's a place for both. Neither one management style by itself is going to work in the long run. We've seen a lot of tech companies with, espresso bars and free avocado toast and meditation pods that in the long run don't work. You may have a lot of employees that like working there, but the company's not successful. And then you have other companies where the boss is a tyrant, yelling and screaming, might have some success, but you can't keep people. You need both management styles. This film, if you are at all in management or even a family management or family leadership, shows you both sides of those management styles. And it shows you the risks of each one. You don't want to become this guy where you're just so grimly attached to the results that you burn yourself out. On the other hand, you don't want to be too much of a friend to your direct reports, because now you're not going to get anything accomplished. In order to have durable ongoing success, you need both. And if you are a student of management, and even in personal life, like I said, with families, and you watch this film, you will see each one of these management styles playing out, and you can see where each one succeeds and where each one fails. Besides the fact that it's a very entertaining film, it's different from the type of movies that are produced today. Not any special effects, different types of dialogue. But if you can appreciate more pure art of Hollywood filmmaking, this is actually a good film to watch. And you can imagine all the work that went into it without having special effects or other types of technology. So even if you watch the movie and just watch a great story, it's a good film to watch. I've watched it many times, probably 20, 30 times over the years. And each time I pick up one more little nuance from the different characters and different lines. One of my favorite sections is when the general that oversees all of this is pushing Frank Savage to do it. And he says, well, you sure we want to do this? Because it may not succeed. These pilots might buckle under the pressure. And the general says, look, if that's going to happen, I want to find that out now. I don't want to find that out in the middle of the war where we lose to Germany and our whole country goes away. He makes a point, if there's going to be weaknesses in our system, let's find it out now so we can fix it. And that's something a lot of managers face. Sometimes you're afraid to make decisions or take action because you might lose a valuable person or you might prove that your system isn't working. It's better to find that out early and pivot and make adjustments. So there's a lot of great management lessons that can come from this, at least things that I've found. If you're a business operator, manager, or even in charge of a family, watch this film and put some comments below. If you've seen it already, let me know what you think. And if you watch it and find some other valuable experiences that you can use in everyday life, put it in the comments. Let us know how it affected you.